A wise man named Jeff Goldblum once said, "Life will find a way." And with that quote, today, here, on Interstellar Happenings, I bring to you one of the most remarkable, unimaginable, and greatest discoveries that the scientific community has ever made. Life on another planet may have finally been discovered. And not simply any planet, our closest neighbor Venus, amongst the most radiant and exquisite objects in the night sky. With its orbit near the rising or setting sun, Venus shone clearly to the first ancient astronomers. As humankind began to explore the solar system, a world with virtually the exact same mass and radius as Earth seemed like the most promising target. Sitting on the border of our sun's habitable zone, the region around a star, where a planet should be able to host liquid water on its surface. Because of this, Venus was once a temperate world like Earth, with plentiful surface water. With what many scientists believe to be large oceans that may have persisted for much of the planet's 4.5 billion year history. But a runaway greenhouse effect eventually took hold on the second rock from the sun, baked out Venus's water, and transforming its surface into the scorched, high-pressure hellscape it is today. Nevertheless, prior to the radio observations in the 1960s, countless still assumed that Venus, Earth's neighboring twin, consisted of a lush Earth-like environment, attributed to the world's size and orbital radius, which suggested Earth-like conditions, as well as the thick layer of clouds, which prevented the surface from being seen. Among speculations of Venus are that it had a jungle-like environment, or that it had oceans of either petroleum or carbonated water. On the other hand, microwave observations suggested a high surface level temperature. Strangely, millimeter band observations were made by A.D. Kuzmin, indicating much lower temperature levels. The two contending theories explain the unusual radio spectrum, one proposing the high temperatures emerged in the ionosphere, and another implying a hot planetary surface. But when NASA's Mariner 5 flew by Venus in 1967, it exposed a surface temperature level of 860 degrees Fahrenheit, with an atmosphere composed of 96% carbon dioxide, and a ground level pressure 90 times more significant than that on Earth. The surface of Venus was then considered inhospitable to life forms, with Carl Sagan saying it best: Venus is a hellish world. Following that, and for the better part of 50 years, the pursuit for life beyond Earth has largely focused on our rocky red next-door neighbor Mars. With NASA launching numerous rovers throughout the years, to filter through Mars' dusty surface, for indications of water, and other hints of habitability. But many destinations, in our solar system, have indeed captured the attention of researchers. Recently, Titan, Saturn's largest moon, and the only moon discovered to have an atmosphere that rains liquid methane, also discovered was that under the ice of Europa and Enceladus are liquid water oceans. And even more astounding, in 1995, a pair of scientists discovered a world outside our solar system, orbiting another star. Ever since that finding, which won the scientists a portion of the 2019 Nobel Prize in Physics, researchers have uncovered more than 4,000 exoplanets, including several Earth-like planets that might have the potential to harbor life. Despite that fact, we have actually never truly identified life on any planet but our own. Now, in a shocking twist, Venus may well be the secret to unlocking the mysteries and recognizing which of those worlds are habitable. With new results indicating the presence of a signal of potential habitability on Venus, now this long-forgotten sibling might find itself back in the spotlight. as scientists at MIT, Cardiff University, and elsewhere, have observed what may be indications of life lingering in the clouds of Venus, in the only habitable area of what is otherwise a scorched and inhospitable world. While they have certainly not found direct evidence of living organisms there yet, what was detected in Venus' atmosphere was a spectral fingerprint, or light-based signature, of phosphine. The stinky, toxic gas that previously has only been detected here on Earth as a byproduct of living organisms. On our planet, phosphine is produced only by microorganisms and by human industrial activity. Researchers have said, were it ever detected on a rocky, terrestrial planet, it could only be produced only by a living organism. So, finding the gas on another world, in an environment that astrobiologists had currently flagged as potentially habitable, is extremely exciting news for our understanding of how life came to be here on Earth. Following these new observations, with an exhaustive analysis to see whether anything other than life could have produced phosphine in Venus's severe, sulfuric environment. And based on the countless conditions they took into consideration, scientists have actually concluded that there is no explanation for the phosphine detected in Venus's clouds, other than the existence of life. This means either this is life, or it's some sort of physical or chemical process that we do not expect to take place on rocky planets. Having said that, there is a long-standing theory that a few of the tiniest forms of life might have had the ability to advance upwards into the high clouds of Venus, a narrow, temperate band within Venus' atmosphere, in between 48 and 60 kilometers above the surface. An unusual place where temperature levels and pressures are similar to those here on Earth at sea level. Experts have hypothesized over the years, with much debate, that if life exists on Venus, this layer of the atmosphere, or cloud deck, is likely the only place where it would endure. Now, the Breakthrough Initiatives will fund a team to explore the scientific case for life on Venus and examine what the technical obstacles would be. In the event that such evidence proves compelling enough to invest further in an exploratory mission. But for now, astronomers need to make an effort to consider all the ways to justify phosphine without life. But, if observations are undoubtedly associated with life, it could show that life is not an oddity, however an inevitability. Indicating that the solar system, and possibly the universe by ramification, might well be teeming with life. If a fiery world like Venus could harbor atmospherical organisms, and the frigid desert of Mars could harbor them in aquifers underground. What does that say about the frozen water worlds, like the Jovian moons Europa and Ganymede, Saturn's moon Enceladus, and the dwarf planet Pluto? Places which are all believed to harbor salty, liquid oceans beneath their exterior, where life would have had billions of years to evolve. What does this say about the larger cosmos, where water is abundant? And humble asteroids and meteorites that have landed on Earth carrying hydrocarbons and amino acids. Life may well be extremely hard to accomplish, found merely on a one-off world like Earth, and nowhere else. Or, it may be extremely easy, requiring nothing more than chemistry, energy, and time to emerge, or maybe it falls someplace in between. But today, the betting feels a little more like it points to the easy side. Our solar system is more dynamic than we ever believed, and there is no reason the same could not be true of the cosmos as a whole. For the last 2 decades, we have been making new discoveries that collectively suggest a considerable increase in the likelihood of discovering life elsewhere. With an increasing variety of planetary bodies being discovered light years away, Venus is now proving to be an amazing place of discovery once again. Now it is the time that we must go back to Venus, in order to address these countless exceptional questions. So, as the amazing story of this discovery continues, what do you think? What would the implication of life on another world mean to humanity? Comment below, and let me know your thoughts on this groundbreaking discovery. And on the next Interstellar Happenings. Who were the green children of Woolpit? The two orphaned children with green skin, who appeared out of thin air in England in the 12th century. Were they aliens from another world, or just sick malnourished children? Subscribe now, and come back tomorrow to find out, as we explore this legend deeper, and journey further into interstellar happenings.
Really?